You have not sacrificed, you have not suffered, you are not committed. When you are committed, you give everything you have. What is preventing most people from moving in the direction that they want to move is a lack of discipline, and no one wants to hear that answer. It's the harshest answer. It's actually slap in the face because they know it's true. They actually know it's true. If you want to make progress in your life, you gotta have discipline. That's how you get there. Discipline is the root of all good qualities. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna get without discipline? Discipline equals freedom. You want freedom in your life. You want to achieve what it is you want to achieve. How do you do that? You do it through discipline. You do it through hard work. You know what, my friend? I think you're stronger than that, and I think you're capable of much, much more. So, bring it out. Bring it out every single day that you live on this earth. Bring it out every single day that you open your eyes. Bring it out every single day. Bring out the best GRY of yourself, my friend, because you still have work to do. Push through the pain. Understand that the pain is a necessary tool. Don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at it as a learning experience. I'm not talking about the pain that's going to make you feel like you're dying. I'm talking about the pain that's going to make you feel alive. Listen to me very closely, y'all. Running from obstacles when, in fact, it's the obstacle that's going to take you to the next level. Like y'all running from pain, y'all running from challenges. You telling me how difficult your life is? Do you understand? It is the difficulty that's going to prepare you and take you to that next level. Come on, right now you saying, E.T. man, you talking to me, man. I'm going through some type of pain. I'm ready to quit and give up. Let me see your hand. I'm ready to quit and give up. Let me see your hand. Something in life I'm ready to quit on, give up on. Come on, raise your hand. Hi, I'm ready to quit on it. I'm ready to give up on it. Come on, raise it up, all right? What I need you to do is I need you to find a reason to keep going. And if you can find a reason to keep going, I know you're strong enough to do it because you're human. And every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through. If they decide to push through it, you're going to have to move from limited beliefs and you're going to have to move into limitless L. Believe it. Remember why you had to let some people go. Remember why you're working so hard towards this thing you're pressing, you're pushing, you're clawing, you're dragging yourself through mud and through murky water. Come on, remember why you're doing what you're doing. It may be difficult, cumbersome, it may seem impossible, but I'm determined. Be determined, I don't care how hard it gets. Push through the pain, push through the anguish, push through the brokenness. Do not stop. I would like to know when you're in that moment failing and you have to keep going, what do you say to yourself? What if a lot of times I'll be in a 2-mile run or something like that and I'm all jacked up, body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I start to say, what if I can pull this off? It's the, what if I can pull off a _ miracle? What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair GR up on my arms because it makes me just like, what if I can be that guy that people who call and this and that, and now I'm speaking at Tom Fair's _ event. Applause. What if that's it? If you keep breathing past the anxiety, you'll make it. If you keep breathing past the fear, you'll make it. If you keep breathing past the you'll make it. If you keep breathing past the worry and doubt, you'll make it. You just gotta keep breathing, my friend. Breathe on. Limitless is not about being perfect. Limitless is about advancing and progressing beyond what you believe is possible. I think if there's one infinite limitless resource on planet Earth, it's human capability. There's no limit on our determination. There's no limit to our imagination. There's no limit to our creativity. It's time to bring something to the world that they never seen before. And if I don't move, it can never be created. So what I'm asking you today, ladies and gentlemen, how long are you going to wait? I'm just wondering if you are old enough, daring enough, if you can believe in your dream again, if you can get committed, if you can take it serious, if you can make it personal. It's personal, and hardships, people judged you. So many people didn't believe in you. You failed at things again and again, but you know what? You didn't give up. You kept going, you pushed through, kept your head held high. Why was you working so hard? Because you were trying to get it. But it's not about your money. It's not about your health. It's not about your new relationship. It's not even about the mystical moment. It's about who you become in the process, because overcoming all those limitations to become somebody else, nobody can take that away from you. Work, 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 work. Damn it, work, 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 work. If I didn't have the coaches that push me beyond really kind of, I think, my own limits or my own expectations, I don't think that I would have become the receiver that I became. You work on mental cousin on a daily basis, you will lose the ability to suffer in the worst of times if you come out of it for too long. If you can lift 315 pounds and you stop going in the gym for a month, I guarantee you won't be able to pick the same weight up again. This is the world that is in front of me, and what most people do is they see this world and they look at it as an excuse to get out of it. Yeah, I started looking at it as this is the ultimate training ground for the rest of my life. I have all these valuable lessons, because if you look out in the world right now today, it's not a nice place, but I'm very prepared for it. I grew up the day I realized you owe you, Eric. I remember being homeless, high school DVE pile. My daddy didn't. My mama got pregnant at 17, south side of Chicago. If they just would have got together and got married, if they would have been you 20 now. How long you going to keep talking about your daddy? You 20, come on. How long you going to be talking about your mama got pregnant at 1? You 20, you owe you, Eric. You owe you, your mama don't owe you nothing at this point. Your daddy don't owe you none. At this point, you need to get that GED, you need to go to college, you need to handle your business. Are you hearing me? You owe you the reason why I speak with so much passion. And why do you speak with so much authority? Because I'm talking about my life, not something that I read. I ate out of trash cans. I had no business eating out of trash cans. I lived in abandoned buildings. I had no business living in abandoned buildings. But your daddy wasn't in your life. Your mom was a teenage mother. You grew up, come on. Look at your shirt. That's not an excuse. There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse. You know what's so funny? We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. Now, for real, I'm gonna say it again, like somebody gave you a 30-day guarantee. In 30 days, you don't make what they told you was going to make in 30 days. You got an attitude, you want your money back. But you've never demanded your money back from yourselves. You've never looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you let you down until you get to that point. You let you down. You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time. I'm not going to work on time. I'm not putting in 120% when I'm at work. I let me down. I value myself enough to give 120%. Or don't do it. That's the problem with some of you. You always want to blame other people. You want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just said you give 50%. You owe you an explanation. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts, no more no. We working out now, no more alcohol, not right now, no. I can't handle it right now. You need to tell you that you owe you something. I'm still gonna get you where they are. Why? Because I owe it to myself and can't nobody stop me but me. And you need to get rid of them excuses, and you need to start pointing fingers at people, and you need to start pointing fingers at yourself. What did you not do? I'm just saying, I'm not even asking you to do nothing. I'm just asking you to acknowledge that you can't let it go and it's killing you. I ain't ask you to take no classes or I ask you to do nothing. It's killing you and you wake up to it and you go to sleep to it and it's killing you. You can't wait for nobody else to fix you. You can't wait for nobody else to mature. You can't wait for nobody else to get to that part in their life. You can't wait. I got great things in store for you. All I'm asking you to do is let this go so I can give you everything you've ever want, so I can put you where you always want be, so I can put you where I adore, ordain you to be son. I gave you a gift, but I can't play like you play humans play. I don't play. You gotta fix this. It's something in your heart you made up in your mind because of the way things went down. You made up in your mind to be bitter. You had options, you chose bitter, you chose angry. Now you hurting yourself. You've been dropped out of school. You living in a band and building, son. You killing yourself. All my people that know me know like, yo, he been doing what he was doing, but yo, when he came back from there and he forgave his father, he took off. You're ready to let that thing go finally. Forever. You don't know how much time you got left. I'm telling you, I've been there. I had to drive that 700 miles to go knock on my father's door to let it go. I said, God, why I gotta go all the way down here and talk to my man? Why I gotta ask him why I got to make it right? He said, cause it's your life and you can't wait for nobody else to make it right. Music. Most of y'all struggle because you don't know what you're here for, and you're intimidated when you see other people because you're not who you're supposed to be, and that's why you feel intimidated once you figure out who you are. You walk in the room and look at anybody not down, but you look up because you know who you are, and you still walking around here taking the narrative that people said you were, instead of creating your own narrative. Write your narrative and make it plain to yourself. You hear me? Surround yourself with like-minded people. Stop hanging with people who still talking about people. You should be talking about yourself and how you try to blow up. You should be writing your vision, not talking about their vision. You should be looking at your own vision. You run around here hanging with people who going to jail. No, you're running with people who are doing stuff that's going to take you to jail. You're listening to music that talk about death, something to happen to you. If you listen to stuff that's talk about death, start listening to life, right? I'm going to tell you the story. I gotta get out of here. Probably heard about this before. It was a young man who, he wanted to make a lot of money. And so he went to this guru, right? And he told the guru, I want to be on the same level you on. And so the guru said, if you want to be on the same level I'm on, I'll meet you tomorrow at the beach at 4 o'clock. He liked the beach. I said, I want to make money. I don't want to swim. Guru said, if you want to make money, I'll meet you tomorrow 4 o'clock a.m. So the man got there at 4 a.m. He already to rock and roll, got on the suit. He should have wore shorts. The old man grabs his hand, said, how bad do you want to be successful? He said, real bad. He said, walk on out in the water. So he walks out into the water. It goes waist deep. He said, walk a little further. He came, dropped his head in, held him down, hold him down, my man, get scratching, holding him down. Just before my man was about to pass out, he raised him up. He said, I got a question for you. Somebody answered the question for me. He said, when you were underwater, what did you want to do? Said, I wanted to music breathe. He told the guy, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad, you just kind of want it. You don't want it bad, then you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Most of you won't be successful because when you're studying and you get tired, you quit. Don't cry to give up. Cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain. You already hurt. Get a reward from it. Don't go to sleep until you succeed. Listen to me. I'm here to tell you today that you can come here, you can jump up, you can do flips, you can be excited when we give away money, but listen to me. You'll never be successful until I don't have to give you a dime to do what you do. When I went to college, guys were way smarter than me. 4.0, 3.0, they went to the Ivy League high schools, came to Oakwood from these great high schools. Most of them are not doing what I'm doing. Why? Because it's not about where you come from, it's about heart. You come to a place where, being smart ain't enough. You gotta have heart. The most important thing is this, to be able at any moment to sacrifice what you are for what you will become. Some of you can make sacrifices when Monday Night Football is not on. You can make a sacrifice, but when the game come on for some reason, you just attach to it. For some of you, when your favorite show come on, you can make sacrifices on Sunday when ain't nothing going on. But when your favorite show comes on Monday, bam, I'm saying to you today that there are some of you, if you give up your cell phone, you would be successful, but your cell phone is more important to you than your music success. Some of you need to give up your cell phone because the time you spend on your cell phone could be used for your success. The time you could be using to be successful, you're using it on the sale, and the cell phone is not bringing you nothing but a bill, and somebody has told you you couldn't live without it. I'm talking about going deep, now giving up stuff to be able at any moment to sacrifice what we are for what we could be. You gotta take ownership of what's going on in your life when you're not where you want to be, and you say it's because the boss doesn't like you, or it's because the girl treated you this way, or the guy did this, like all those things, you've got to take ownership of them. And if you're blaming all these other external things, you're not going to make any changes, and that's going to be a problem. That's the problem too. If you're chronically rejected by people, it's often because of your own insufficiencies. Whether that's cowardice or lack of social skills or whatever it is, it's like you can't just brush it off as, oh well, no one likes me, but really I'm okay. It's like, no wrong. If everyone rejects you, there's probably something wrong, and it's probably deep and difficult, and it's going to be horrible to fix. And so this isn't a trivial problem. It's not a trivial problem at all. Todd, I'm sorry. All right, I screwed up. I know I screwed up. I don't know why. Oh great, of course, here it comes. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing shitty things and then feel bad about yourself like that makes it okay. You need to be better. But yet you're fully committed to sabotaging yourself and your career, then you sitting back stressed out and depressed, wondering why. Why ain't things happening? That's the answer. I just gave it to you. Somebody is really, it gets the question is, what are you going to do next week, 2 weeks from now? You're in your own way. You are the reason your career is not on the next level, nobody else but you. When you don't have a true appreciation and acceptance for who you are, and you allow yourself to be immobilized by fear, what happens in the process is that you begin to abuse yourself, you begin to sabotage your life, you begin to sabotage your dreams, you begin to unconsciously work against yourself, you become your own worst enemy. So what do you do about that? Well, you begin to realize that your dream and your gifts have so much meaning and so much value for you, till your hunger for them will begin to push you past the fear. Your hunger to have them will give you a special drive. You might be sitting there wondering if you're going to wake up tomorrow and do the thing you said you would, but why on earth would you wonder? This thing you're so uncertain about is literally you. There's nothing in this world you have more control over than yourself. But if you decide to wake up every day, surrender that control to chance, I guess you'll be stuck wondering forever. This disconnect between you and you is unnecessary, though the pattern of hoping you fulfill the role of a better you and disobeying that desire every time is completely in your hands and is a recipe for no self-respect. So there's some certainty within yourself that needs to be built that's not going to happen by accident. If you look in the mirror and you ask yourself, what do you have to do to be successful? I promise you, your heart will tell you've never looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you let you down. Until you get to that point, you let you down. You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time, I'm not going to work on time, I'm not putting in 120%. When I'm at work, I let me down. You always want to blame other people. You want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just say you give 50%. You owe you an explanation. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say why you only give 50%. What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts, no we working out now, no more alcohol, not right now, no, I can't handle, do it right now. You need to tell you that you owe you something. This is you versus you. Most of us, we live in a box and we don't want to go outside that box at all, ever. Outside that box is all these possibilities of life. What we do is we shackle our mind. We are a prisoner in our own mind that this is all I can do. This is all I'm good at. And we take away the possibilities of you could be this, you could be that, you could be all these things. And I never thought at 300 pounds I could be any SEAL. Wow. So if my mind was shackled me and you would never meet, there'd be no book, right? There'd be no book, right? There'd be nothing. So what people understand is that they live for themselves, not knowing that you have the power within yourself to change millions of lives. Yeah, by facing life, by facing yourself. If you're struggling, if you're frustrated with yourself, if you're at that point where you're so sick of yourself and your excuses, I've been there, Steven's been there, this is a normal part of the human experience. And at some point, either the pain is going to get big enough or you're going to bump into somebody's story somewhere on this planet who has been in the position that you're in right now, facing the stuff that you're facing right now. And there is something about their story at this exact moment in time that will ignite something in you that is missing. And what is missing in you right now is hope. If you set your own value by what you believe about yourself, if you think that you're worthless, if you're not very good at it, other people pick that up. It doesn't matter what lifestyle you have, it doesn't matter what walk of life you have, no matter what you do, if you allow excuses to tell you what to do, then ultimately the excuses have more control of you than what you have of yourself. So get up, work hard, put some effort into what you want out of life, because all you have is what you have inside. Don't wait for somebody to tell you what to do. You know what you need to do. Get out there and get it done, because that's ultimately what it's going to take. You have to have the courage, the will, and everything you have inside to get to the level and beyond the level you want to be. Life does not stop until they put you on the ground. My friend, strong mind is a catalyst for change. When you see the best athletes in the world either perform really well or, on the other hand, completely bomb out, it's because of that muscle that lives between the ears. It's interesting to me that the comfortable route is seen as the safest path, but the undeniable disappointment that comes from giving up the ideals of the true self doesn't seem so safe to me. Don't indulge in the comfort that comes before effort, because that comfort, it's nothing but a lie. So what kinds of thoughts are you feeding your consciousness? What kind of things are you putting in your mind that will enable you to either move forward or to justify why you staying where you are? What really breaks my heart is how stuck people are, and that there are things you can do to change your life for the better. And if you don't have hope, and you don't have this breakthrough where you have, for just a millisecond, this insight, where you go, well, what if things did work out? If you don't have that moment, most people stay so stuck in resignation, so it's time to come face to face with pain. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, how much more can you take? Because what hurt you, what tried to underscore you and kill you, only made you stronger. You have the capacity to, whatever comes up, to handle it, to face it, and rather than feeling powerless, you begin to feel powerful. My content creators, my entrepreneurs, my musicians, come on my keynote speakers, my captains of industries, my CEOs, from the captain to the cashier, there is more in you. Stay-at-home father, stay-at-home mother, lawyer, doctor, hygienist, author. I don't know who you are, where you're from, but there's more in you. You may be hurting, you may be dying on the inside, but you still got life left. Your ambition, if you have any sense, is actually to become competent. Do you want to be competent and dangerous, or do you want to be vague and useless? It is definitely the case that there is no more exceptional form of the capacity to be dangerous than to be articulate, and so it's a moral endeavor in some real sense, right? To become articulate is to become the master of your own tongue. Every advantage comes with a disadvantage, so if you're extroverted, you're social and you're positive, but you're impulsive and you can tilt towards hedonism, and you can't stand being alone no matter where you land. In the temperamental landscape, you're going to have your associated faults and temptations. You got a goal, and you'll see that as you progress towards the goal, there'll be obstacles that emerge, and some of them you don't want to confront. That's why it's useful to order your room. Chaotic room makes you anxious. Why too many pathways? Man, people don't really repress the things they don't want to face, they just fail to unpack them. You want a horizon of ever-expanding possibility. We're built to walk uphill, and when you reach the pinnacle of the hill, you want to stop and appreciate the vision. But the next thing you want is a higher hill in the distance. Beware of unintended consequences. It's like, oh no, this thing will just do what I want it to do and nothing else. It's like, no, turns out that not only is what we want from each other the real thing, but that's also the adventure of your life. And so if you aren't truthful, and that means, unfortunately, especially at the beginning when you start to be truthful, it means deeply coming to terms with your inadequacies and humility. So it's very painful. Without that, you don't have the adventure of your life. You have the role that you've acquiesced to, and that'll take all the meaning out of your life. It's good for you to go take your place in the world, have some ambition, have a vision, have a goal, have a strategy. Try to be a good person, not be because it's your duty, precisely because that's the proper way to live. You sit on the bed and say, okay man, I'm ready to learn something. What's one thing I'm doing wrong that I know I'm doing wrong that I could fix you? Meditate on that. You'll get an answer. You grow in proportion to the weight you take on voluntarily. And it's also true that we have no idea what the upper limit to that is. It's from the uphill climb that we derive our value, and I mean this technically, so almost all the positive emotion we feel, especially the emotion that fills us with enthusiasm and that's experienced in relationship to a goal. And so in some sense you want a goal that you can never attain, so you can always move closer to the goal that recedes as you move towards it. You think, well, that's frustrating. It's like Sopas pushing the rock uphill. But it's not, because as you pursue that goal, you put yourself together and your life does get better and richer and more abundant. That's why the highest levels of virtue and goal are in some sense transcendent. You want them to be above everything you're doing so you can continually move towards something that's more sublime and better. That's what you are. You're here to live, not to sleep. And the problem with the vision of Mai Tais on the beach is that, well, first of all, that's a vision of drug-induced unconsciousness. Second, it's only going to work for about a week. Third, you're going to be a laughing stock in a month and depressed and aimless and goalless. You want a horizon of ever-expanding possibility, and so it does happen to people because they've staked their soul on the attainment of an instrumental goal, and it can be a pretty high-order goal, but then you think, now I'm there now, what? Well, the answer can't be, well, I'm going to live in the lap of luxury and never have to leave a F. What do you want to be, a giant infant with a gold bottle? You never have to do anything but lay in your back and suck. It's like you see the problem with that as a conceptualization. It's no, you want to be like an active warrior moving uphill with your sword in hand, and that's dynamic, that's exciting. People are afraid of the truth because often if you reveal it, it causes conflict in the moment. Telling the truth is definitely an adventure seeking for sure, but also telling another way of going about it is to just say what you think and see what happens. That's an adventure because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. So, look, there's this old idea that it's necessary to have faith in the truth, and so here's a way of thinking about that. Someone asks you a question, and you might think, well, here's the outcome I want, and so here's how I'm going to answer that question. So that's one way of approaching it, but another way of approaching it is you ask me a question, I'm going to think about the answer, and I'm just going to tell you what I think, and it doesn't matter what the outcome is, because I'm willing to see what the outcome will be predicated on the idea that there isn't a better out than the one that truth produces, even if it's harsh and terrible in the short term. And sometimes it is. It's like there isn't a better way of doing it. Now you might say, well, how do you know that? The answer is, well, I don't know that. That's why it's an article of faith, because I believe, and I believe this deeply, the being that you produce as a consequence of telling the truth is good by definition, even though it's harsh and often uncomfortable because you get in trouble. One of the things that I've really learned recently, or learned to articulate better, is that there's a very tight relationship between aspiration and responsibility. The first question might be, do you need to aspire to something? And the answer is, well, yes, because you have to do something. You can't. If you just sit there, you'll die. You can't just sit there. You have to go act out in the world. Okay, so act towards what? Well, that's whatever your aspiration is. You have to have an aim. Okay, well, what should the aim be? Well, it should be something worth doing. Let's say why. Why do something that you don't feel is worth doing? What do you think's worth doing well? If you watch other people, and you judge when they're doing something worthwhile, you usually judge them positively, if you see that they're taking responsibility, at least for themselves. Would you want to be completely useless, so other people have to take care of you? That's pretty pathetic, and maybe you could get your act together so you're taking care of yourself and your family, and maybe you could even do better than that and take care of yourself and your family and your community. Well, good for you. That's responsibility, and that's an aim. Well, here's one of the things that's cool about that is that your life doesn't have meaning without aspiration or an A-OK. So you need a hierarchy of values. There's got to be something at the top. It's got to be something important. If you don't have that, your life doesn't have any meaning. So if you criticize the hierarchy, or even the idea of hierarchy, you destroy the idea of aspiration. And then people have nothing. Well, that's not helpful. People are built for a struggle, and they're built for a weight, and you want to take on a heavy burden voluntarily. See if you can put yourself together. See what you can do out in the world while you're waiting to die. It's an all-in game. It better be worthwhile. You practice small things daily. You practice discipline, build habits routine, and you create momentum piece by piece. You earn the right to the bigger arenas. You fail. You learn, you iterate. Then, you grow. Surround yourself with people who demand your best and hold you accountable, not with those who normalize complacency. Stop writing your life as a victim. Start writing it as the author. Limit distractions. Guard your attention as your greatest asset. The accumulation of tiny daily actions compounds into destiny. Teach what you learn. Share the gifts you earn. Your responsibility increases with your capacity. The higher you climb, the more you owe to others. Let your ambition be tethered to service. Make your success a platform to lift others. Measure yourself not against others, but against the who you were yesterday. Competence begets confidence. Confidence begets responsibility. Invite criticism. Use it as data to iterate. You want to be dangerous, competent, and effective, not vague and useless. Refine your speech, clarify your thoughts. Articulation is power. Every advantage carries a shadow. Know yours. Then work to balance it. Narrow your pathways. Reduce decision fatigue. Focus yields excellence. Schedule your day as if your life depends on it, because it might embrace the uphill. Relish the climb. When asked why you do this, answer with purpose, not convenience. Let your work produce value. Reward comes from contribution, not entitlement. Set big aims. Then break them into daily rituals tonight. Plan one thing you'll do tomorrow that moves you forward. Do it without telling anyone. Consistency wins over brilliance. When brilliance is intermittent, one day at a time, one sacrifice at a time, you build a life you can be proud of. Keep your head down. Keep your heart up. Let your actions speak for you, and remember, the life you imagine is waiting on the other side of the habits you refuse to abandon. Build them now, shame later, but don't stop now. You practice small things daily. You practice discipline, build habits routine, and you create momentum. Piece by piece you earn the right to the bigger arenas. Some of us need to forgive. Some of us need to ask for help. Some of us need to stop running. We are not islands. Your growth is tied to the people you carry with you. Find mentors who demand your best and peers who lift your standards. Resilience is trained by facing small adversities voluntarily. The journey will be longer than you think and harder than you imagine, but that's the point. It's meant to refine you. For some, the path requires undoing years of damage. Start where you are your own responsibility. You will answer to yourself first. Sacrifice is not a punishment. It's the currency of long-term success. Be willing to pay in time and discomfort for what you want. Tomorrow your story may be rough. Make it useful to others. Write down what you will do when you feel like quitting. Rehearse it. Practice breathing past anxiety. Practice stepping forward when you want to retreat. Make public commitments to people who will hold you accountable. Call the hard calls. Make reinstating the value of truth your habit. Practice showing up. Show up to the simplest tasks. Consistently use your hands to build what your mind envisions. Get help when you need it. Asking is strength, not weakness. Track metrics of behavior, not only outcomes. As you rise, look back, bring someone with you. Remake your environment to support your future self. Breathe when it hurts, act when it hurts. Impact grows geometrically, When you help others grow, remember why you grind: family, legacy, meaning some nights will be dark. Commit to the work regardless, create value. Don't chase validation when the work is done, you'll sleep better knowing you earned it. Establish rituals that anchor you on low-energy days, celebrate progress quietly, reward only when earned. The climb is long, find joy in each step, and when you fall forward, learn, stand, continue. There is no replacement for time under tension. Embrace the discomfort, and you will be remade by it. This is how legacies are built. You practiced small things daily. You practice discipline, build habits, routine, and you create momentum. Piece by piece, you earn the right to the bigger arenas. You fail, you learn, you iterate, then you grow. Make your life a product of honest inputs. Do not wait on external validation. Create your standards and meet them. What you do daily compounds into your character. Choose actions that make you proud. Be relentless in the pursuit of skill and kind in the way you share it. There will be sacrifice. Embrace the price. It's the tuition for mastery. You will risk ridicule. Keep building anyway. Fix what you can. Forgive where you must. Carry only what serves your ascent. Share knowledge freely. Make room for others to rise. Habits compound. Protect them zealously. You'll never know how far you can go until you push past how far you've gone before. Look at yourself and ask, did I do enough today to deserve the future I want? If not, act now. You are the gardener of your destiny. Prune what kills growth, water what produces fruit. The discipline you practice today writes the legacy you'll leave tomorrow. Turn pain into purpose. Use your scars as maps for others. Lead with results, not slogans. Let failure be your teacher, not your identity. Your team will reflect you. Lift them up, and they will lift you higher. Your life matters. Make sure what you build lasts beyond your presence. Demand excellence of yourself, then bring mercy when others fail. The balance creates leaders who endure. Breathe and then act. Breathe and then push. Breathe and then persist. When others sleep, you build. When others party, you plan. When others quit, you persist. If your desire burns, stoke it with action. If your will trembles, fortify it with habit. Do it for your people. Do it for the ones you love who can't yet do it for themselves. Small, consistent acts ripple into massive impact. So I ask you now, how long will you wait? How long will you allow fear to decide your life? Choose to act. Choose to be better. Choose to live out loud. This isn't about perfection. It's about process. It's about persistence. It's about presence. You have the capacity. You have the time if you choose to use it wisely. Get up earlier, work longer, be kinder, be firmer, be relentless in the right ways. And when you look back one day, you will not regret the pain you felt, only the chances you didn't take. So make a decision today. Show up, do the work, refuse the excuses, and build a life that cannot be taken away. This is your charge. Go. Music.